Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Our university gathering of Piedmont UU sits on the traditional lands of the Catawba, the Kiowa, and the Sugary peoples. My name is Cosette Blackmer. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the worship assistant this morning for Reverend Dr. Amy Rio. We are a flourishing, vibrant, radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all of our visitors and members, we are very glad that you're here with us in person or online, and we hope to see you again. Your presence is truly a gift to us. We have a few announcements this morning. Our annual meeting is 1 week from today following worship at the university gathering. We are voting on a bylaw change for electronic voting, the election of the officers, the operating budget vote, and the new capital fund budget vote. Please make plans to attend. There will be 2 Zoom meetings this week. For more information, see your announcements for that link. We ask that you please stay after worship today for our Deck the Halls event. This is for all ages. I understand there's some kiddie activities. We will decorate our space for the season. For other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of service, or if you are on our email list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
As the days grow increasingly shorter and the nights increasingly longer, the light we carry becomes more important and glows more brightly. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light which illuminates the darkness and the light which fills our hearts. Please join me now in singing the words to lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite us now to please stand as we are willing or able for our call to worship found in our bulletin. As people of faith and wonder, we welcome in the delight of mystery, the awe of unfolding adventures, the expansiveness of what it means to behold mystery as a gift to the imagination.
Too often we relax into routines, find comfort in old habits, and give in to the confines of our lives.
In this time of worship together, may our hearts be nudged open to what may be.
May our spirits be wrapped up in curiosity to seek mystery and welcome her in.
May our time together this day remind us to stay open, stay inquisitive of what we do not yet understand, and be inspired to stretch ourselves into new ways of being. Welcome mystery. Welcome into our hearts and our time of worship together. I invite you to please remain standing for our opening hymn found in our gray hymnals, number 235, Deck the Halls. And as we start together, any children in to join me up front in our Time for All Ages, I want you to notice there are a couple lines in your bulletin about the Time for All Ages. We are going to start singing our children out after the service if they choose to go out to the nursery. And these are the words to the tune that Ann will play. Ann's been playing this tune the past month, so hopefully it sounds a little familiar to you. Well, good morning. Good morning. How are y'all doing today? Good. Everyone doing good? Having a good day? So, I wanted to ask you about something, and it turns out that Lizzie has a necklace, which is exactly what I was going to ask about. Here's Lizzie. Can y'all see what her necklace is? Do you have one too? Okay. Well, you got something pretty too. Joe, what's on this Lizzie's necklace? A rainbow. Yeah, a rainbow. So have y'all ever seen a rainbow up in the sky?
Yeah.
Yeah? Once?
Mommy, Papi.
You seen a rainbow up in the sky? Yeah. What have you thought when you saw that rainbow? What came to your mind?
A rainbow friend.
A rainbow friend? Yeah.
Oh,
Did it make you happy when you saw it? Yeah. Did you wonder how it got there?
I know how it got there.
How did it get there? You know. How did it happen?
Water drops and some sunlight.
You are such a smart girl. I was a lot older than you before I knew that. So water drops and some sunlight shines on it in a special way. So you might be asleep before you see the moon much at night, but y'all ever see the moon at night? What do you think when you see the big moon shining bright?
It's reflecting light from the sun.
Okay, we have a future scientist here. Yes. You're going to be an amazing scientist. Yeah. Reflecting light from the sun. Okay, that was not ever what I thought when I was a kid, but That's right. So anyone else, when you see the moon at night, what do you think? Do you think the moon's pretty?
Yeah. My grandpa sends me love, and I send it back.
You send love to your grandpa too, so. Well, there's lots of things. One thing we're talking about this month is kind of mystery and wonder, and how we see things that, Isabel understands what they are. The rest of us, we might still be looking, but we see things and we think, I wonder how this got there. And maybe it just makes us so happy and filled with joy. Can y'all think of some things that you see that you may not understand, but they just make you really happy? Rainbows. Yeah, rainbows can make us really happy. They're so beautiful. The moon? Yes. Rainbow, okay. We're a lot of rainbow lovers. You know, there's a lot of things that we can look around us and see, like even outside here. Have you noticed that a lot of the leaves have fallen off the trees? Right? And next spring, it'll just be a few months from now, that we'll start to get a lot more leaves on the trees. And that's kind of wild, isn't it, how that can happen? And think about when plants, flowers are growing, they might just be a little seed or a little bulb, then they'll grow into a beautiful flower, just like the flowers we have over here. So all those things are good things for us to notice. So this month we're talking about mystery and wonder, because there's a lot of things we don't understand, but they're really beautiful and they can make us happy. So I want to ask you to think of one thing this week, sometime maybe today when you're out and about and you see one thing that you think is maybe really pretty or that really makes you happy, and just to be thankful for that. Can you think of anything right now besides maybe a rainbow or a moon that makes you happy that you're thankful for?
I can.
Oh, Mr. Frank can. What can you think of?
I have a yellow rose that is still blooming.
Mr. Frank has a yellow rose that is still blooming, even though it's not really the season. Yeah. I have a cactus called a Christmas cactus that's blooming pretty red blooms right now. Oh, Lisa, Miss Lisa has something.
Yes, I can send hugs to my loved ones over the phone, but I don't know how they get there, but they get them.
Oh, can send hugs over a phone. Wow. Jefferson hugs or kisses over a phone? Yeah, so I know it's a wonderful thing. So, well, thank you so much for all of you coming and talking today. You know, and after the service, we're going to have some fun activities too as we deck the halls, and we have some special things planned for y'all. So thank you for coming and talking with me, and I will see you in a little bit. We now enter into a time of ritual and sacred sharing, where we share our joys and our sorrows, our concerns and our milestones. For this week, we light a candle for Risa with the passing of her father this past week, for Jane with her mother's ongoing health concerns, for Bob, the Salisbury gathering with recent health issues, for the ongoing struggle for civil rights in Iran, all areas of violence around the world, especially the war in Ukraine, for a just peace with the war in Israel and Palestine, for rising incidents of Islamophobia and anti-Semitism and all who have been impacted by them, the observance of World AIDS Day this past week and all who have been impacted by this disease, and for our new members who are joining us today. Now, this time you are welcome to come forward as you would like to do so. You may fill out a prayer card, which is over here by the wall, and place that on the prayer rack. You may light a candle for your own joy or concern, or you may simply place a stone in our shared water. And as you come forward, I invite you to come along the outer edge of the aisle, over where Lisa is standing, and then return to your seats after this space. So please come forward as you feel called to do so. We now light a few more candles for the things we hold in our hearts, which remain unspoken, and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. We will now have a time of quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. This will sound the singing bowl, and then we will have our silence, and after a few moments of this, Anne will lead us with our musical meditation. During our time of silence, I invite you this morning to think about the things which fill you with wonder, the things which bring about mystery and awe, and just to be present with those things. It can just be one or maybe a couple things. It doesn't have to be everything you can think of, but just to be present and to give thanks for what brings wonder and awe and joy in your life.
Our wisdom reading this morning is entitled Mysteries, Yes, by Mary Oliver. Truly, we live with mysteries too marvelous to be understood. How grass can be nourishing in the mouths of lambs. How rivers and stones are forever in allegiance with gravity, while we ourselves dream of rising. How two hands touch and the bonds will never be broken. How people come from delight or the scars of damage to comfort of a poem. Let me keep my distance always from those who think they have the answers. Let me keep my company always with those who say, "Look," and laugh in astonishment and bow their heads.
So our theme this month, as I've already stated, is wonder and mystery. Now, as I began preparing for this month's theme and services a while back, I immediately thought of my time in divinity school many years ago, and the numerous times that most of us were really confused by our classes, right? Graduate school, any kind of school, can be a time for confusion, but this was especially true for those of us in ethics and theology classes as we're learning about the nature of God and all those kind of things. Now, one semester, early in the semester, the professor spoke about the historical understanding of the nature of God. And then we spent some time in class talking about the theological statement that the true nature of the divine, quote, is a mystery. There's been lots of books written about this, actually, by the way, so that God or the divine is a mystery. Well, you can imagine that my classmates and I, many of whom were early, mid-20s, we took that phrase and we ran with it. So anytime something was confusing, which was all the time, we'd say, well, very wisely, we would say, it's a mystery. So we'd have a good laugh, and then we would ask the graduate assistant to explain things to us because we didn't know what was going on. So, I think one of the reasons I remember that phrase so well is because I liked things that had answers. In high school, I was on the math team, and I initially thought I would major in mathematics when I was going to college, but then I had this transformative dream the summer before I went to college and decided I wanted to major in religion and philosophy. Like so many people in the world, I liked definite answers. Now, in recent months, I know I've spoken from time to time about the challenge in our society with a great desire for binary thinking. The desire that things are either good or bad, they're right or wrong, black or white, male or female. So many people are uncomfortable with, or even frightened by, gray areas in life, by mystery which cannot be held in our hands or completely comprehended in our brains. Now, there is a verse from the New Testament which states, "For now we see in a mirror dimly, but one day face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known." Now, this verse is a reference to after life ends, an acknowledgement that we can never fully know or understand in the here and now because we are limited by these human bodies. Now, this verse comes from a book in the New Testament, 1 Corinthians, and it's in a chapter which is often called the love chapter. And sometimes you hear those read at weddings, that particular chapter. The important thing for us to remember is that this chapter and the whole book, the whole letter, was written to a fledgling church community, one that was pretty new and was filled with division. Quarrels were constantly emerging over tiny details and huge theological concepts. If there was something they could argue about, they were going to argue about it. And so the writer of this letter is clear that the community must be filled with love in order for them to be in community. Without love, a cohesive community was simply not possible. Now, if we, along our human journey, recognize that the mystery which surrounds all of life, it's so much easier to love, isn't it? If we simply believe that we have to have all the answers, that everything can be answered with a binary statement, then we are not able to live into the mystery that is at the heart of the universe and the heart of all creation. Residing in the mystery is the key ingredient to love. Residing in the mystery is the key ingredient to love, to the spiritual journey we travel. Some of you may have heard of Thomas Merton, well-known monk and mystic from last century. He was a prolific writer, theologian, mystic, poet, social activist. In the 60s, he was doing a lot of pacifist work which was not popular in his crowd back then, and also interfaith work. Merton was born in England, but actually spent a great deal of his life in Kentucky, not too far from here. He lived there at a monastery. Now, Merton wrote about a mystical experience he had while standing on a busy street corner in Louisville, Kentucky. He was dressed in his typical monastic garb and was out running errands for the monastery. Now, if you go to Louisville, there's even a historical marker at the location where Merton had this mystical experience where he truly felt the mystery of the universe. Now, hear now his words about that experience. In Louisville, at the corner of 4th and Walnut, in the center of the shopping district, I was suddenly overwhelmed with the realization that I loved all these people, that they were mine and I theirs, that we could not be alien to one another even though we were total strangers. It was like waking from a dream of separateness, of spurious self-isolation in a special world, the world of renunciation and supposed holiness. This sense of liberation from an illusory difference was such a relief and such a joy to me that I almost laughed out loud. I have the immense joy of being man, a member of a race in which God himself became incarnate. As if the sorrows and stupidities of the human condition could overwhelm me. Now I realize what we all are. And if only everybody could realize this, but it cannot be explained. There is no way of telling people that they are walking around shining like the sun. I'm going to repeat that last statement. There is no way of telling people that they are walking around shining like the sun. Now, I think all of us can imagine busy street corner. There in the middle of Louisville, people are out shopping, they're busy, and here's this monk in his monastery garb who just stops and has this big mystical experience. I can imagine what most of us would think as we're walking by. We're thinking, is he okay? Or what's wrong with him? Or, what's he doing? He's blocking traffic. He's causing problems here. But Merton saw something that day, a glimpse of mystery. And he chose to reside in that mystery, being filled with love. What a true gift. Now, I want to share with you one of my favorite lines of poetry from Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And I think many of us have said that ministers tend to have one or two things they have to say about 2 or 3 times a year. So I know I've shared this with you before, and I'll keep sharing this line of poetry because I love it so much. And she wrote, this is part of her poem on Aurora Leigh. Earth is crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only he who sees takes off his shoes. The rest sit round and pluck blackberries. During this month, let's have our eyes open, our hearts open in new and fresh ways to see the wonder and mystery which surrounds us everywhere. Especially in this very busy season, where we have so many tasks that keep our days busy and so many special things that we want to do to make the holidays special. I invite each one of us to be open to the mystery which constantly surrounds us. Now, whether we are in the midst of shopping, and it might be online shopping, scrolling through our phone, right? Whether we're cooking a meal or special Christmas cookies, whether we're running after children, trying to wash the dishes, or all the other activities of our days, I invite us to open our hearts to love. Open our eyes to the mystery which love can unfold for us. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you, Anne. Lovely arrangement. Now let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope for we are the keepers of the dream. This month, we are sharing our offering plate with Rowan Helping Ministries. Rowan Helping Ministries' mission is to serve through cooperative community action their neighbors in Rowan County who are in crisis, by providing essential life needs and educating and empowering them to break the cycles of crisis. We ask that you place your gifts in the baskets as they make their way around the room. You are always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now gratefully be received.
We give thanks for the time, talents, and treasures which each person brings to this beloved community. I ask you now to please stand as you're willing, you're able, for our next hymn. It's found in our gray hymnal, number 92, Mysterious Presence, Source of All. I now invite everyone to please be seated and our new members to come forward, just kind of over in front of the candle table will be great. Okay, so today is New Membership Sunday. At our early service in Salisbury, we had 3 members join, and y'all will get an email letting you know more about our members. And of course, we always have our new member bulletin board in the back too. And so we're very excited to have 3 new people join today here in at University Gathering. These individuals have gone through our Pathways to Membership course. They've learned about UU history and theology. They have explored the basic tenets of spiritual journey and how that applied to them individually. And we've had individual conversations about what it means to join the church. They are committed to supporting our church community with their time, talents, and treasures. And so I'm going to do an introduction, just a little brief. Mindy, you want to raise your hand a little bit? Okay. Mindy is a pretty recent North Carolinian who moved here in July from Delaware and was born and raised in Kansas. Mindy and her girlfriend Jess are cat parents, which of course is important. Now, Mindy is a scientist, and so Mindy, we need you to talk to Isabel, okay, and help mentor her, so we know that's where she needs to go. So, she loves to read, listen to music, and spend time outdoors. Lil Feather, just over here, you want to raise your hand, thank you, is a member of the Shawnee tribe and has had careers as an addiction therapist and a college professor with human relations. So, Anna, up here, yes, is a lifelong Unitarian Universalist. We know those don't have a lot around, so we always are glad to get these lifelong people in. And she's excited to be one again and be with us. She is married and has 1 little boy, Harley, who we've been seeing in recent weeks, come to the time with children. Anna works from home in IT, information technology, as a performance management analyst, which means that she is a pro and gets paid to put lots of reports together monthly. So, good skills to have. She is interested in a million things and always intrigued by a few others, things from the paranormal to clothing history. I think we can have some great conversations. So today we welcome into our community these new members who have chosen to make a commitment to this congregation by signing our membership book, which they will do in a few moments. And they are taking commitments to support our church through their time, talents, and treasures. So, new members, I have a question for you. And this is all in your bulletin. You can follow along. Everyone can follow along because congregation, you have a responsibility as well. So new members, we are so glad to have you here with us. and that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on your life journey. Will you accept our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalist people who spread hope with our living faith? Will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? Response is, we will. All right. Now, congregation, we have a grave responsibility as we welcome new people into our community. So I ask you, will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? We will. Now let us all say together our covenant of purpose and right relations as each one of us renews our commitment to our church community. We encourage and support individual freedom of religious beliefs for all. We share in loving ministry for each other and thereby provide for our emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. We are dedicated to providing religious education for our children, which will enhance the positive worth of each child. We will strive toward social responsibility with the purpose of strengthening an individual commitment to self, congregation, and community. We will seek the truth to enlighten and acknowledge human accomplishments and possibilities. Our covenant of right relations. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its prayer. We covenant to honor all spiritual paths with hospitality, to assume the best of one another from our highest selves, to dwell together in peace through kindness, and to serve others with compassion, honoring one another as members of beloved community. Now, Elaine and Pam, I believe, have a flower for each one of our new members and also a little mini chalice so that y'all can light your own chalice at home. And Elaine, the membership book is over by the prayer cards. If you can open that up to today's date, then we invite y'all to go ahead and sign your name over in our special membership book, which Michelle made for us not too long ago. After the service, of course, we always have our fellowship time with our coffee and tea and snacks. And remember, today we also have our Deck the Halls events. We invite everyone to stay. You can just stay for a few moments to help. The membership team has some wonderful things we want to put up to celebrate the season. And during this time, especially go up and give a warm welcome to our new members today. So, all right, before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who helped make our service possible today. And I also ask that before you leave our space today, if you will take the hymnals and place them on the cart near the piano, that will be a big help. So let us take a moment to give thanks, either in our hearts or with words to share for others, for the things for which we are grateful today.
38th wedding anniversary.
38 years. Congratulations, Cosette. Yes.
My kids entertaining the congregation during the time for all ages.
The Tonkinson girls entertaining us, yes, always. Love it.
I'm thankful for children.
Yes, thankful for children.
I'm thankful for this service, which helps us remember what's really important in life.
All right, thankful for the service, helping us remember what's really important in life.
And I'm thankful for all of you that are going to stay and help decorate.
And Pam is very thankful for everyone who will stay and help decorate, so it'll be a lot of fun.
I'm grateful for today's sermon.
Thank you. Grateful for today's sermon. Thank
And
you.
our new members.
And our new members, absolutely, very grateful for them. I'm thankful for my friends Collier and Laura, who got married yesterday and had a wonderful celebration party last night. It was just a lot of fun, great time. I know we are thankful for all these things and so many more things which we hold in our hearts this morning. Let us now go forth, filled with the blessing of living and residing in the mystery. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we may wander. May it be so. Now for our closing song, we make a circle, and you may hold hands if you would like to. If you would rather just stand in the circle and not hold hands, please just place your hand on your heart.
Thank you.